Welcome to the show, everyone. I am so excited about being here and not anywhere else right now because we are networking with everybody out there. We're live on Facebook, so hi to everybody out there. Like us and follow us. We'll share the show later on. My first guest has been on with me several times with me. I have it's over a year now.
Definitely.
I think you're into 2 years. I have with me Donald Heckel. Donald owns ATAX, and it is a franchise, but his franchise is very different than any other you'll ever go to, or you don't even need to once you listen. So welcome back to the show. I want you to tell everybody a little bit about ATAX and what makes you all so different.
Okay, well, thank you for having me on your show, and hi everybody out there in Facebook land. What makes us different is we like to get to build a personal relationship with our clients. So it's not a cookie cutter routine place like some of our competitors. So if you walk through that door, you're like family. We treat you like family. We show you a good time. Like we actually have a video game, Pac-Man. We have popcorn. So when they come in, we have snacks and coffee and stuff. But what sets us apart is that interaction, the personal relationship. Because you have to know, we get a lot of personal information from people, and we need to know some personal information from you, so you need to trust us. So what best way to do that is to get to know each other.
Well, let me tell you something. What I love about Donald is he is your tax advocate. I just said it like that because I didn't know any other way. You are so passionate about taxes and about your franchise and helping people with strategies. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But people that are new business owners,
right.
You love to help them with all of that. And there's all these little things that you do that nobody else does when you go to like the big box franchise.
Right, the cookie cutter franchises.
Right. Now, I want to talk about first your food drive that you're having, which is exciting, and I want to get that out really quickly because I actually was really excited about you coming in because I cleared out some of my things and I brought in some canned goods and things. Tell them about the food drive that you're having coming up.
Okay, so we have a food drive from now until December 20th. We're collecting food for
good,
bags.
I can bring more.
Right, for the Bags of Ministry, Love Ministry. And if you bring in 12 items, we'll give you a 25% discount on your, or a 20% discount on your tax return with us. And you can if you don't want to use it, give it to somebody else who will use it 20% off.
Well, isn't that cool? So you bring in 12 cans or 12 items. It doesn't matter
items.
whatever
Doesn't matter
it is.
if it's cans, a
They're
bag.
looking for stuff, anything that you can help a family in need.
It's a great time to clear out the closets.
It is. I was just talking about that this morning.
And if you don't have food, maybe you have some old clothes, some old jackets, or some old blankets or things. Just bring whatever you have and bring it in. So
they're accepting donations through December 20th, and you could call them if you like and talk to them. Their phone number is 623-213-7733, and if you want to, and you go there and you give them 12 anything of whatever it is that you give them for this, they're going to give you 20% off your tax return, and that's going to be around the corner. It is tax season as we are talking.
It is.
Right?
It's tax season for a lot of good reasons. One is you can plan it for now because as of January 1st, it's really hard to give you the tax strategies or the tax breaks or deductions. So it's a good time to go see your tax person to sit down with your last pay stub and then go over some of your expenses and some of your deductions and see where you're at. See if you need to make that additional payments, or if you can give some to charity or something to write it off.
Right. It's all about the write-off, right?
Right.
And I also want to talk a little bit about the Christmas party. I said, let's not talk about that till December, but December's Friday.
Yeah, it's
here
already.
Believe that.
It snuck up on us.
It sure did. So you're having also a Christmas party December 16th from 11 to 3 p.m. And what's that all about? And he loves to get out there in a community, and he loves parties, and he loves to have just a good time and show the love for the people that you have, whether they work with you or not.
Right, and it's a great time to come out and bring your questions and meet the staff, meet us, know what we're all about. And it's also a good time to bring the kiddos out because we're going to have Santa Claus there, we're going to have a DJ, and of course our mascot will be there, the eagle. And then we're going to have face painting, we have a bounce house, we got a lot of games to play, and then we have a lot of prizes too, and a lot of candy to give away, and lots of food.
And lots of food. And let me just say this, what everything is about Donald is fun. Even though taxes are treacherous, they can be, right? And we're going to talk about the people that put their heads in the sand also with their taxes. but making it fun, making it understandable for people. I think that is what you're all about more than anything.
Right.
Is getting people to understand what they're doing.
Right. And so our mission statement is to have fun and change lives. So every person you meet, everything you do, you should impact something. And, show it with love.
And I'll tell you something, Donald is all that.
Yeah, and so we'd love to sit down and talk to you. So just, even if you don't want to talk, just give us a call, text us, email us, and we'll answer your questions for you.
And you say that's very important for people to have right now, especially a tax review.
Yes, so you go to see a doctor twice a year for a medical review.
Well, everybody's talking about Medicare review. You should have a tax review.
Right, and so, the tax reviews are great because then you avoid the penalties. Because, if you don't pay enough in taxes, you get a penalty. If you don't, and then, are you going to get a tax refund back? So we can sit down, we can adjust your tax rates, or we can adjust your deductions to figure out where you're best at. And there's no one that has, it's like fingerprints, nobody has the same tax situation. So each one that comes in, we sit down and we assess, we analyze your tax situation, and then give you the numbers. And then before you leave, you actually understand those numbers, because if you don't understand the numbers, then it's just a blank piece of paper to you, and you're not going to really understand anything.
And if you're in a business, you really do need to understand your numbers. You do both personal and business
businesses,
taxes.
and S corps and estates.
And to say it again.
Okay, we do S corps returns, and also we do estate returns.
Okay, and then this is happening on through December 20th. They are accepting donations for the holiday food drive that they're doing for Bags of Love Ministry. And if you bring in 12 items, they're giving you 20% off your tax return. You can call them direct. Their phone number is 623-213-7733. The website is MrD'sTax.com. Now, I want to talk a little bit about about you. Let's go here. When you talk right now, I had mentioned that I wanted to talk about you being an enrolled agent, and how this is really important because a lot of people put their heads in the sand, and we said that a minute ago. It's tax season, and nobody wants to do, especially when they're getting the letters and this and that. How can you, as an enrolled agent, help them differently than anyone else?
Okay, so an enrolled agent allows us to represent you in front of the IRS. You do not have to talk to the IRS. You don't have to see them. We do all the work for you. Basically, we take the stress out of our IRS.
Take the stress out of the IRS.
Yeah, take it out.
That.
And let's get your hand out of the sand. And we have a no judgment zone, just like Pure Fitness. So just bring it in, and we'll take a look and see where you're at.
Now, and a lot of people will wait and wait and wait right now, especially because it's the holidays. If you can help them now, that peace of mind that they would have, that lift off of their shoulders. A lot of people think their situation is worse than it probably really is.
I know, and I've been there before. When you get that letter in the mail and you open up that box and you see the IRS letter, it's like your heart just sinks down into your stomach, and you just can't stand it, and you don't even want to open it. So then you try to bury it under stuff, and then when you bury it, what happens is they'll keep sending you letters after letters after letters, and if you don't answer those letters, sooner or later they're going to levy your bank account, and they'll be like, oh, what happened?
Yeah, they're brutal.
They are, and then they'll take your money for 6 months before they even talk to you about reducing the payments or even reducing the debt altogether.
Well, you can just talk to Donald, and he will help you on this because he's an enrolled agent. And if you are somebody or you know somebody that hasn't done their taxes in a while, you know what, get that peace of mind. Let's get this new start. And that is what he can do, is help you by talking to him. So when you try and do it yourself, it's too emotional, and that is not good. Their phone number to call direct at 623-213-7733. The website is MrD'sTax.com. Hang tight, we're going to be back in just a minute. We're going to keep on going in here, and we're going to go back into the strategies. Okay, and then we're going to talk of this again, maybe a little of this, and then back. Okay, that's my plan. Okay, when you work with people this time of year, what do they usually say to you? What do I need? Why am I coming in here now? What does it usually happen?
So what usually happens is they'll come in and they'll ask me, oh, what do you think my taxes are going to be next year? And I'm going to say, well, it depends. Yeah. And they're going to say, what do you mean? I say, well, we can't just say pull a number out of the hat. I'm not a magician. So we have to ask them to come in and bring their last pay stub, and then bring in a list of all their bills and stuff that they have, all their expenses, and then anything that they have that's tax related, just bring it to us, and then they can estimate it if they don't have the documents.
Mm-hmm.
And then bring in their last year's tax return, because we also do a free second look.
Oh yeah, free second opinion.
Right, and so just bring in your previous tax return, and then we'll take a look at it, and then we put all of it together, and then we'll analyze your return to see if you're going to owe money this year, or if you're going to get a refund, and then we can make a plan. If you owe money, we can make a plan on, well, do you need to put more money into the system by taking more deductions from your paycheck, or do you want to pay somebody else, like a charity or something, to reduce your take-home pay?
Yeah, well, I think the best thing is having that consultation.
Yes.
And sitting down, getting to know one another, finding out it's all about their story.
Right.
What is it that you do?
What is your 5-year goal, too? Because if you want to buy a house or purchase a car, you want to get a loan or something, or a credit card, you want to show more income, which means more taxes.
And a lot of people have the opposite. They think the opposite.
Right.
I want to have the least amount of taxes, and when I go to get a house,
They can't get it.
you can't get it.
And there is a way around that, too. If they want to get a house, and let's say they had $30,000 in deductions, right? Well, you can reduce some of those deductions by filing an amended return, but then you're going to end up paying more taxes plus
Mhm.
penalties and fees, but then you can get your house.
Right.
Or you can plan ahead, and plan ahead by, let's raise your income, reduce your deductions, or pull it forward.
Absolutely, and people should do that, I think, more than anything. But
Right.
we just don't. I don't know why. Here we go.
I guess it's like if you don't know what you don't know.
What?
If you don't know what you don't know.
No, I know. We tried to say that. I always say that. This lady, Solar Sandy, went national from being on my show, and she came back. She just called me recently. She's back here with me. Solar Sandy. You'll meet her sometime. Hopefully, it's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting story. All because of me. Here you go. Better.
Did you know accounting is the backbone of businesses?
What? So welcome back, everyone. We're talking with Donald Heckel. He's the owner of ATAX, and he's laughing. Why are you laughing? What were you trying to tell me?
I was just laughing because I always think of something when you get ready to do
right,
something.
when we're about ready to go on. That's when everybody goes, or when we're going off. Oh, I wanted to say this. Well, Donald is the owner of ATAX, and it is different than any franchise at all that you've ever been to, because it's like a boutique. It really is. And you help people from soup to nuts when it comes to
Everything.
personal or business taxes. And you're all about helping them, understanding what they're doing, going around finding ways that they can help them. For instance, we were talking at the break about people who get so many deductions that they don't show that they make a lot of money, and then you want to go buy a house and you're not getting accepted, and you're like, well, why? I have such good credit. But then what happens?
Then they don't have enough income to qualify for the loan or the house that they really truly want.
Yeah.
So they either have to go to a lower house that they really don't want, or wait.
And you say there's ways around that.
There is. So you can file a amended return and reduce some of your deductions and increase your wages. However, when you do that, it's going to cause you have to pay additional taxes plus
But
penalties
you
and
get
fees.
your home.
But you get your home.
Right. But this is the thing, is that what Donald does is like to get to know all of his clients personally, and
I
so
would.
you absolutely do. And it's all about, what are your goals? That's what you said.
Yeah, it's what about your goals? What is your 3-year goal, 5-year goal? Do you want to buy a house? Do you want to get a car? Do you need to get a credit card? Do you want to get a home loan or a second mortgage? You need to have, the first thing those people are going to ask you for is, one, if you're a business, they're going to ask for financial statements. So you need to have your profit and loss statement, your balance sheet, your cash flow statement. If you're individual, they're going to ask for the last 2 years of income taxes. And if you don't have those, they're going to say, well, how fast can you get them? And that's when you need to come see me and I'll help you out.
Because you can help them out with that too. Now, you also do free second opinions for everybody. We
Correct.
want to talk about that. Also, listen up, everyone. There's a lot of people who have side little hustles, side businesses.
Yes.
Right? And whether they're multi-level marketing or not, you have to realize all of that is a business and has to be reported.
It does. And you have to be in compliance too. There's sales tax compliance, there's payroll compliance, there's insurance compliance. So if you don't know about all these things and you start a business in the state of Arizona, they can come after you, and and not knowing is not going to be a liable excuse.
And what do we always say, Carol, on this show? You don't know what you don't know. And that's what this show is so great about, is the information
and
that
it can
people
cost
hear.
you dearly later.
Right. Now, you do free consultations, you do second opinions for everybody, you want to get to know them, you make it all about fun. We're going to talk a little bit about some of your fundraisers that you got going on right now. The phone number to call him direct is 623-213-7733. The website is MrD'sTax.com. I want to talk about some, let's throw this in here right now. The holiday food drive. That is happening, that they're taking accepting donations, I just said that wrong, through December 20th, okay? And that if you bring in 12 cans of food or anything, 12 of anything, they're going to give you 20% off your tax refund, or your return.
Right.
What's wrong with me? Okay, the other thing that they have is their Christmas party, which is also right around the corner, and that is going to be on December 16th from 11 to 3. They're going to have Santa photos, obviously family fun, music, face painting, bounce house, and also games, prizes, and food. And it's all about getting to know the public, you love the community and helping them out, but also having fun at the same time.
Correct.
And getting to know ATAX, getting to know Donald. That's what you like to do about this. This is all about you.
Yeah, I want everybody to know what I do, how I do it, and what I can do to help them.
Now, let's talk about tax strategies before the end of the year. Okay, go ahead.
So some tax strategies at the end of the year is going to be your health savings account, if you don't have one already. You don't have to do it through your employer if your employer doesn't offer it. You can go to your local bank and ask for them to set one up for you. And you can take that up as a dollar for dollar deduction on your tax return.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, and you can donate up to, like, I think it's 3,000 plus.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on your age, it could be more. Same thing with your traditional IRAs. So let's say you have a 401k at your office, your employer. That's okay. You can still have a traditional IRA at your bank, and that's a deductible as well.
Well, a lot of people out there don't work for somebody. They own their own businesses or have started their own business recently.
Until they have self-employment plans too. You can go to your local banks and they can set that up too. It's called a SEP, S-E-P. Or you can call us and we can connect you with somebody who actually does those for you.
Now, again, right now you would think that you wouldn't be talking about tax planning, but it is big time right now. There's things that you could do with your IRAs, right? Go ahead.
There's a lot of things you can do right now before the 31st, and that one is, you got some tax shelters too. You can, all those little side hustles you don't really have a business with. Let's say you go and you do some lawns, or you do some crocheting and you sell little candles here and there, but you really don't have the business set up. Come see us, we'll set up, because you're using that kitchen table, you're using some supplies, all that's tax deductible.
Right, and you don't know what you don't know. And that's where Donald comes in, is going to help you.
We'll make it legal.
Also making it legal and legit, right? And a true business, and in a sense. And anybody that ever does that, once, a lot of people start businesses and they just start rolling and they start selling, and that's all, they just want to get that money in. And then you turn around and it could be years later that you haven't done certain things, and you can help them with even setting up LLCs and all that.
Yeah, so we do a business consultation where we do set up LLCs, and then we find out what's the best tax strategy for you. Or you want to be classified as an S corp, or do you need to be classified as a C corp, or do you need to be classified as a sole proprietorship, a partnership, disregarded entity? So there's a lot of different tax advantages to these different platforms, and we need to do it before. Because once you select one of those platforms, you're stuck for 5 years before you can change it.
Well, also you want to do a lot of this beforehand, because once it's January 1st, you can forget it. It's all done. And so you want to make sure that you give him a call, and he'll do a free consultation. He'll do second opinions for you. Anybody that tries to do their own taxes on their own, please don't. As there's so many different laws that come up, and people don't even realize that they're there and they're in place. And sometimes you do these things online and they look all good and it's less money. But one of the things that you say is your motto, and I never had said this before, is your motto is fast, easy, and affordable accounting services.
Yes. So accounting is the backbone of businesses. If you don't know what your numbers are, you're going to surely fail, because you have no guideline. You don't know what's coming in. You don't know what's going out. You don't have any plan to the future. So how are you going to scale your business? How are you going to grow your business if you don't know where you're currently at?
And right now, you're at about getting the word out about what you do and
Right.
how you help people. And if you have a business, maybe you're just starting one, you've just started one, it's a great idea to talk to Donald and let him, kind of guide you now. Better to do it now than to wait.
Right, and then for a cup of coffee a month, we have plans starting at $10, $15 a month for just the software. Then if you want accounting services, it starts at $100 and it goes up.
So not that much money.
No, and every plan is different because we have to customize all of our services to each individual client in order to give them the best possible solution.
So you say here, no need to hire an in-house bookkeeper.
Now, if you hire an in-house bookkeeper, it's going to cost you $18 to $20 an hour. So if you figure 20 hours a week, that's like $300 a week. That's going to be $1,200 a month. And then if you hire us for $100 to $500 a month, and I think our highest plan is $750 a month.
So, but you have different plans, different platforms.
Different levels,
for
different
people.
platforms, because each company is different. So it depends on how many transactions you have, how many accounts you have, how in depth do you want us to go with your accounts payables, your accounts receivables.
How many people out there listening right now that own a business don't even look at books, or don't even, you write
Right.
something down on a P&L and that's about it?
Yeah, or you just put it down and put it in a shoebox. And then you go back to your shoebox and all you got is a bunch of blank pages because all the ink went off. So now you don't know
that's
nothing.
really
You don't
bad.
know where you're at.
And there's so much more, because I will say that one thing that people do when they start, they just get really excited about what they're doing, but they don't realize that there's a lot of steps that you can take, not only in the beginning to make it legit, also to, as you're going along, to learn to grow, right? But now it's tax planning, right now tax strategies. What can we do to make sure that you have the most deductions, right?
Right, and the most possible solution to your tax issues and reducing your tax liability. But most of all, reducing the stress out of the IRS and everything that has to deal with the tax return.
Well, he's been saying that for a long time. Don't stress. It's, what did it say? Take the stress out of the IRS. I like that. We ought to do an ad like that, right? And again, he is an enrolled agent. And what makes him different, I think, more than anything, is being that this it's a boutique. He does this as a boutique, and he works individually for each one of you separately. I'm going to lose my voice. So let's go ahead and get out this information, because it is the giving season, and right now they're accepting donations through December 20th, and that's at their holiday food drive for Bags of Love Ministry. And if you give 12 items, whatever that is, they're going to give you 20% off your tax return. So you can call them direct. Their phone number is 623-213-7733. You can check them out on their website. It's MrD'sTax.com. Real quickly, let's also go into the Christmas party that is happening. I'll do this for you. It's happening on December 16th. That's from 11 to 3 p.m. They're going to have a lot of fun, and that's what he likes to do. He brings fun into the tax world. And anything that we do to your business and getting your tax returns done efficiently. Again, you could call him direct. That number is 623, what is it?
7733.
623-213-7733. Bobby off.